Hi, my name is Amber, and this is my November wrap-up. So this month I ended up getting through 11 books somehow, so let's get started. First, I picked up Volume 1 of Ouran High School Host Club. This is an anime that I've watched multiple times and loved, so I decided to pick up the manga and loved it just as much. It was absolutely adorable and so much fun. This is a story of a poor girl that goes to a rich kid's school, and she gets mistaken for a boy, ends up breaking this $80,000 vase, and to pay back for it, she has to be part of this all-boys host club that is in the school. Really adorable and really fun, and there's so many different kinds of characters in this, and I love this series so much, so of course I ended up giving this 5 stars. Next, I picked up Escaping from Houdini by Karen Maniscalco. This is the 3rd book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. I read the 2nd book last month and loved it so much that I had to get the 3rd one as fast as I possibly could. I ended up getting this through Books for Trade and of course just jumped into it this month. I loved this. I think the 2nd one still is my favorite in the series so far. I can definitely see where a lot of people had issues with this one, but I still really enjoyed it. I love the story and I love these characters so much, so I ended up giving this 5 stars. Next, I picked up Nightblood by Ellie Blake. This is the 3rd and final in the Frostblood trilogy and loved this. I thought it was great. I have loved this series from the beginning and just was so incredibly excited to get to this final book. It closes up everything pretty nicely. I like the way it played some things out, and I love some of the twists and turns that it has in it, and I just really enjoyed this final book. I thought it kind of just ended everything really well. Next, I decided to pick up Volume 1 of Mouse by Art Spiegelman. This is a comic book kind of duology. I think there's only 2 volumes that is based around the author's actual father and the stories he went through during the times of Hitler and the Holocaust. It's really heart-wrenching. It's a really intense story because you're seeing these flashbacks. I can definitely see why so many people liked this. It definitely is a very important story and a very interesting view into what was going on during that time. I think I had just expected a little bit more from it because of how hyped up this graphic novel has been, but I did really enjoy it. I do plan on hopefully picking up Volume 2 eventually. Hello. But I ended up giving this 3 stars. Next, I picked up Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer. This is the sequel to Renegades. This used to be a duology, but I believe is now being turned into a trilogy. This is a story about renegades and anarchists in a world where some people have superpowers and some don't. It is a story that is one where you're constantly questioning what is right and what is wrong, and if the good character is who you should be cheering for, or if the so-called bad character is who you should be cheering for. But of course, Marissa Meyer, as always, has phenomenal, incredible characters that you just automatically fall in love with. I have loved this so much so far, and I cannot wait for the final book to come out and to see where this series goes, so I of course gave this 5 stars. Next, I picked up Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. I picked this one up kind of randomly. I had heard really good reviews on it and had seen this cover around everywhere. This is a standalone Viking story, and I can see why a lot of people loved it. I did really enjoy this. I did really enjoy the characters, and the story was really interesting, unique, and I liked where they went with it. I feel like I might have enjoyed it a little bit more if it would have been maybe 2 books to kind of build more on the characters and build a little bit more on the plot and the story, because it just felt like nothing happened in the plot for a while and then it would just everything happened. I ended up giving this 4 stars. Next, I picked up Alpha by Jessica Cardo. This is the 3rd and final in the Infinity Division series. This series starts out around our main character Corey, who learns that her father has actually been part of a secret government society that has learned how to time travel between different dimensions. One day these 2 boys show up and tell her that different versions of her have been being killed off in different dimensions, but each book follows different characters, and I think that makes it really unique, and you're kind of reading a brand new story with each book. I've really enjoyed every book in the series, and I did end up giving this 5 stars. Next, I have some manga that I picked up this month. First, I have Frau Faust. This is from the creator of The Ancient Magus Bride, which is one that I've constantly heard about for so long, but I haven't picked up yet. I just haven't been able to find it, but when I found this from the same creator, I decided to jump on it and check it out just so I could see what their writing was like, what their art was like, and I really did enjoy this. This is supposed to follow the story of Faust, which is a doctor that made a deal with the devil, and this kind of is changing the doctor into this strong female character, and she is searching for pieces of her long-lost demon, something that I think is going to be a lot of fun and kind of have some more serious notes into it, so I think that's going to be really interesting. I'm intrigued by the story and where it's going to go. It has really odd creatures in it that I wasn't expecting, so I'm really looking forward to continue on with this, and I gave it 5 stars. Next, I have Maid-sama. I decided to randomly start this anime this month and fell in love with it and flew through it so quickly, and before I was even done, I ended up picking up the 1st volume of this and read through it, and I loved it just as much as I did the show. It's just really cute and adorable and fun that is constantly making you giggle and smile and I enjoy these so much, and I cannot wait to continue on with the series as well. Our main character is the student council president, and she is in a school that used to be an all-boys school, and she is trying to transition the guys into being more respectful of girls and not being as crazy typical boys. And she's very strict and a little crazy, but it's so great kind of seeing how strong and amazing she is as a character, but also seeing her still grow in some ways. One day her secret's actually found out by another student in her school. Things just go crazy from there. Next, I picked up volume 1 of Pandora Heart. I kind of went into this one not knowing too much about it, and as soon as I started it, I realized that it was very much a take on Alice in Wonderland. Not so much as a retelling, it was more like it takes pieces of Alice in Wonderland as the story and the characters and just kind of throws it into a completely new story that involves different dimensions and crazy creatures, and it seems like one that's going to be both serious but also really have its weird, crazy, fun moments. So I'm really intrigued and excited to continue on with this one. I ended up giving this 5 stars. And then finally, I finished Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. This is the last book in the Throne of Glass series. I want to cry just thinking about the fact that this is the last book. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody that hasn't read this series. This final book was absolutely incredible, and I felt it was the perfect ending to this series. This book is almost 1,000 pages. It is huge. Part of me was slightly worried that it being that long would feel long, that it would feel like parts of it needed to be cut out, but it didn't. It felt perfect. It felt amazing. It was heart-wrenching and heartbreaking in so many moments, and even the good moments had me bawling my eyes out. I was in tears by the end of this book, and just, I am not ready to let go of these characters. I am not ready to say goodbye to this series. I easily gave this 5 stars. So those are all the books that I read in the month of November. Let me know your favorite read that you read this month down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.